All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Speed Racing Network, where we present the Truck Series. This is the championships, and I am so thrilled to welcome back into the booth one of the all-time greatest announcers that we've ever had, Dean Brummett. Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, Sean, how's it going, buddy? I got a little lost. I forgot how to dress up in these nice suits and whatnot. So, buddy, I am glad to be back up here in the booth with you here for Championship Week.
Man, it is great to have you up here. I cannot wait. This is going to be absolutely a phenomenal race. Everybody's been pumped up all week for this.
Yeah, Sean, I'll tell you what, this race is definitely going to be an interesting one to watch here this evening, buddy. Between tonight and tomorrow for our Xfinity series, this Texas Motor Speedway is different than really any other mile and a half that we have on our circuit this year. 2 weeks ago we got to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway in NASCAR's backyard, and between it and Atlanta, a lot of similarities. And at one point, Texas had some too, but they repaved this track a couple years ago in turns 1 and 2, and it's got this big, wide sweeping arc. Gonna make for some crazy restarts, some crazy racing here tonight, Sean.
Well, these guys have been doing this all season long. They've been doing a great job with it. And of course, we're down to our final playoff 6, which we'll talk about in a second, because that was a whole messy situation to begin with. Kind of a fun situation, actually. But out here at Texas, I think this is going to be one of those races where we're going to be side by side a lot. We're going to have people tracking each other down a lot. I think this is going to be a huge race, living up to the potential of what this league really is.
Yeah, Sean, we got to start this thing, 20 weeks ago. And it's hard to believe that, you think of 20 weeks, that's 5 months here and gone that we've been out here doing these races. And man, it all comes down to this. This is what these guys started this season out. And, you've had some of your contenders that you knew, you didn't know, but you had a pretty good idea. You knew that they were going to be here. You've had some guys that have kind of snuck their way through. And like you said, some crazy stuff with the points. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be in the booth last week, but I can tell you right now, I was watching that truck at Xfinity race at work. Just don't let my bosses know.
No, definitely not. But we'll get into those points here just really shortly. We've got a couple other things to get through first. But tonight, 90 laps to figure out who is the best of the best. 2 fast repairs out there. So if you get hurt out there, you're still in the race. Just get back to your pits, get a brand new truck, get right back out there. And that's kind of the fun of the truck series. But I'll tell you something, Dean. I'm hearing rumors about next season. It's not going to be 2 fast repairs. It's going to be 1 instead.
Well, Sean, that'll definitely make it a little more interesting. One of the big things with myself being in the Cup Series, I don't even get fast repairs. So, you're spoiling these guys down here, letting them, you're letting them off too easy. So, the 1 fast repair, that'll definitely be fun to watch next year. For a lot of these races, especially this distance, and when you put the money on the line, I think 1 fast repair is perfect, no matter what you're racing in. And like I said, it's gonna be crazy tonight, buddy. These guys. You got everything on the line, and why are you not going to send it? You have just got to be in that gas, no brakes, ready to go. And it's like Tony Stewart said one time, you got to be ready to wreck your own grandma out of the way to try and win this thing tonight.
Oh, there's going to be some people out there that are willing to do that. But, here in the Truck Series, like you said, we've gone 20 weeks. This is our 20th week. We had fixed setups all season long. Same here tonight. 2 fast repairs. They've paid $5 a week to get into this league, and then they have the chance to win $300 first place. But we also have those weekly prizes as well.
Yeah, Sean, and when it comes to the weekly stuff, it's awesome, man. These payouts, they vary depending on how many trucks that we have entered. We've also already settled our team championship. That's been one of the coolest things about coming into this league is just, you get that real racing feel in terms of the cash and the glory.
Oh, definitely. Now, we do have a segment every single week called Matching Wits with Gerwitz, and this week, Gerwitz sat down with Adam Pettit, one of our admins from the series, and he's going to talk a little bit about what's going on next season, a little bit, not a ton, but we got some changes coming up. But let's see what Aaron Gerwitz has to say with Adam Pettit.
And this week on Matching Wits with Gerwitz, we have a surprise guest, Mr. Adam Pettit. He is a league admin, and he didn't get to race much this year, but...
No, I didn't.
Well, you switched over and took on a hefty role as league admin for the Xfinity Series, and
Yep.
you did a fine job based on my
Well, I appreciate it.
but everything went kind of smoothly. First half of the season was kind of rough, but what were some of your challenges this year?
Challenges this year, just, obviously that was my first time being an admin, and you don't really notice all the stuff that you got to pay attention to until you're in the admin role. Watching cautions, watching what people are doing. And especially as an admin, you can't see what drivers can see on their screen. So I don't know when so-and-so is supposed to be ahead of so-and-so or, whatever. And trying to, do things to be fair. Obviously SRN uses rules that a lot of it falls on iRacing to make the, call as far as, cautions, black flags, all that kind of stuff. We kind of just leave up that way. We aren't the ones that are, controlling or, acting as God, so to speak, letting iRacing doing it. And then, going back and reviewing things and, doing what we can to, make things better. We didn't want to make a lot of changes in the middle of the season, just so that way there, there wasn't all these ups and downs of, okay, this week, this is this, and next week it's that. So, we kind of, what it was what it was. And we kind of just left it at that. And, now we're looking obviously, towards season 2 of 2021 to, kind of put some changes in and hopefully improve the racing. Now, when you've got 40 new people out on the track together, you're going to have some ups and downs. And as we saw, as people, as the season went on, people started racing better because they kind of realized who they were racing around and what they could and couldn't do around certain drivers and stuff like that. Plus the car count started to kind of die off towards the end, which I know from a, Jason's side and a Sean's side, as far as the financial stuff of it, they don't like seeing that. Drivers don't, because then the prize pools aren't as big, but it promotes a lot cleaner racing when you don't have 40 people out there. We've only got, 20 or, 30 people out there. But then at the same time, that also kind of can, cause complications with the broadcast and stuff like that. So taking everything and all that in, and, we're really looking at trying to make season 2 better than season 1. And I think we've got a lot of good things that will help that. Not saying that it's, it's going to be a perfect system and, go from there. Just like with anything, there's always, things to, learn about and adjust and tweak and, try to make it better. And, all of us are not this, right? We all have, 9 to 5 or, bigger jobs than that. So when we have the time, trying to do what we can to make it better is, what we're trying to do. But I would say time was probably one of the biggest things is, we would love to do so much more, but we just don't have the time to do that. And unless there's a way that everyone can start, making real money at this, it's just not going to be there. We're going to do what we can.
Yes, and like you stated there, everyone's got a 9 to 5 job, so it's kind of the work and then the play balance. Kind of got to balance that out. But
balance family, personal things. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not just fire it up and go out there and practice for an hour and go race. It's we've got to make sure setups are right. We've got to set up all the sessions. All that is time and money that we have to use, and it's all for the benefit of the league. We wouldn't do it if we didn't love it, right? So we all do, and it's definitely fun. And to be able to see everybody enjoy the league, that's what it's all about for us as an admin.
Yep, and like you said, it's seeing everybody enjoy it, and I think for the most part, everyone did enjoy this year.
Yeah.
And I think there was very minimal problems, but looking forward to season 2. We saw you make a few starts in the Cup Series. I know between doing your admin stuff and trying to race, and then your family stuff as well. So it was kind of mismatched. So
my problem was with the Cup car. I thought I was better in the Cup car than I really was. I was used to Mid-South Madness in the Xfinity car running anywhere in the top 5, top 10, top 15 every week. Where in the Cup Series, it just wasn't that. There was a lot for me that I needed to learn about the car, and I just didn't have the time with working and trying to, admin the Xfinity Series and running a few other leagues and practice all for the Cup stuff. There wasn't enough time in the day. So rather than, be out there and, waste money and, just be in the way, it was kind of just easier to just kind of pack it up, get to things that I enjoyed, because at the end of the day, no one enjoys running 25th, 30th every single day. It's just not fun. So I've kind of come to the realization that I'm not going to be a 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 KI racer. I don't have the time for that. And obviously I just don't have that natural gift for it. So I've got to work to be at about a 2,000, 2,500. And I in the Xfinity car. So that's just kind of what I'm going to stick to.
Mm-hmm. And we hope to see you come back next year in the Xfinity car.
That's the plan.
And I know last year in Mid-South Madness, you went on a tear in the second half of the season.
Yeah. 2 wins there towards the end. Missed the playoffs at Vegas. I got wrecked by somebody who will be nameless. He knows who he is. But I know it wasn't intentional. That was also the day that I found out that I was going to be a dad. So I wasn't in my best frame of mind. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but I was just, nervous, had that, big bomb dropped on me, so to speak. So I wasn't, all that with it. So
always focused, but
yeah.
And you are one last thing before we go here. One last thing, or not one. You are a team owner for REVVED Racing, and you got 2 cars in the final 5. You got Michael Madden tonight, and then tomorrow night you got myself. We'll try to bring it home for you.
Yes, that definitely is a goal. I know I've worked with Madden. I know I've kind of worked with you a little bit. I know you've got an ace in the hole, so to speak. I think that's tonight you're doing that.
Yes.
So hopefully that can help you. But all in all, proud of all the teams. We had drivers in the playoffs, in the trucks, in the Xfinity, and in the Cup Series. Not everyone obviously made it. But you and Michael did a great job this season. Very proud of you guys, and hopefully use that momentum to, build on for next season.
Yep, for sure. And I'm wishing Michael the best of luck tonight.
Yes.
And yes, myself tomorrow night. Yeah. And that's all the time we got, Adam. And this is
all right. Well, thank you, Aaron.
League admin Adam Pettit, everybody.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Pettit, one of our league admins. Yes, there are definitely some changes coming, some good things to hopefully make the driving a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fun. But trust me, the money will still be there. In fact, we're actually looking at expanding the payout system a little bit more so that more people get paid. So, man, we're going to have just as good of a season next season, Dean.
Yeah, Sean, and it's awesome. When I came to the group last year in Mid-South Madness at the time, under the name that it went, I was like, man, this is awesome. These weekly payouts and just all the potential that you had to get paid out, and to see how it expanded this year. I mean, last year's Xfinity Championship, which was all that we really ran, was no slouch in terms of the dollars and cents. But then to be able to come out this year, have a truck series, the same payouts for Xfinity, and myself was competing for the Cup Series championship with a lot more money than that, man. It's an awesome product that you guys have put together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Man, well, we're going to find out what's going on, but let's take a look at our race payouts here tonight. So we've got $25 to first place, $15 to second, third will get 10, fourth will get 10, fifth will get 5, and so that's the little stuff. But Dean, let's talk about the big stuff.
Yeah, buddy, the vault is opening here, man. This is what these guys have been fighting all season for here, these season payouts. And first place tonight, whoever is the highest finishing of our playoff drivers, going to take home 300 big ones. Second place is going to take home 150. Third place will take home 100. Fourth will take 75. Fifth will take $50. And that team championship at the bottom, Sean, already been decided.
Yes, it has. But before we get into the team championship, let's talk about the Butt Kicker Clean Driver Award, because a couple of our playoff drivers, Corey Saucier and Cole Martin, are going head-to-head for that here tonight. So they're really, really close in that Butt Kicker Clean Driver Award standing. So whoever wins that will get a free butt kicker. But, hey, if you're not one of those winners, you can always go to the Butt Kicker website and use our discount code SRNVS20 and get 20% off your order.
Yes, sir. And on top of the butt kicker, we had just mentioned it a moment ago, the team championship having already been decided. REVVED Racing, they won that $100 to split amongst themselves. That's sponsored by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Check them out on Shopify. Me and Sean were just talking during the break there. I have unfortunately been thrust into the world of diecast collecting, and Sandwich Man has helped me kind of start slow to be able to ease in.
Oh man, they are absolutely phenomenal. So definitely find them on Shopify. Go out there, get those diecast models, get all that memorabilia because it is fantastic stuff, and they've got great prices on that as well. But then we also have the second tier playoffs that are ending up tonight as well. So Flavor Bomb came along and decided to sponsor this for those drivers that couldn't make it into the playoffs or maybe joined us a little late. There's still a little bit of money on the line here. Vincent Cortez running away with that thing though.
Yeah, Sean, it's going to be tough to catch him tonight. I think he's pretty much got it wrapped up, but you're never out of it. You never know what can happen. But Sean, I tell you what, buddy, we've talked about it all night. We've been here running all season. Let's take a look at these championship drivers here, buddy.
Man, I'm telling you, there are 6 of them, and they are all on even keel tonight. Whoever crosses the line first gets that win. So here we go. Let's start off with Cole Martin. Now, Cole has been nothing short of dominant this postseason. During the regular season, he was kind of boom or bust. He had 4 regular season wins, yes, but he also had 3 races where he finished outside of the top 20. But in the postseason, he's been phenomenal. He had a bad start in Talladega, finishing 28th there, but since then, he's gone win, 7th place, win, 4th. So he's definitely earned this spot here tonight, and he'll look to bring home a league-leading 8th win tonight.
Now, right behind him, coming in second this evening, Sean, is Michael Madden. Now, I'll tell you what, he was a king of the regular season. Out of the 13 regular season races, he only finished outside the top 5 like 3 times. So, we've done 19 races overall this season. He's got 15 top 5s, Sean, and 15 top 10s. Not to mention, the man's got 3 W's to his name. So, he had a bit of slip-up last week at Michigan, but, he had enough bonus points between all those great finishes to get him here tonight. So, we'll see if he can bounce back tonight.
Well, man, if there is one surprise in this field here tonight, it's got to be Bobby Anderson. He's only had 1 top 5 this entire season, but he's been in the right place at the right time, and he's been able to parlay that good fortune into a massive opportunity here tonight. I wouldn't sleep on him because he's one of those guys that just won't go away during a race. That type of fortitude may be just enough to get him to the finish line for a big payday here tonight.
Now, Sean, and one thing that I will say with Bobby Anderson is back going to our last race, getting ready before the playoffs, he actually had stayed out. Very interesting strategy. We were sitting there trying to figure out what in the world he was doing, and he got 1 bonus point. That 1 bonus point was the difference in him missing the playoffs and making it in. So right now, his season is on the line due to 1 bonus point, and we'll see if he can push forward. But right behind him, you've got Kyle Wimble, who's had a pretty good postseason, buddy. I mean, he's only had 2 top 5s in the first few weeks of the season, the regular season, but he's got 3 top 5s in the last 6 weeks. So I mean, he's over, he's outperformed his regular season stats there. Here's going to be the big thing. He's there. He's in the playoffs. It's all about who's going to finish ahead of the others. So keep a look out for that number 91 tonight.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about Corey Saucier here because we do need to talk about him. There was a stretch of time during the regular season that we thought that Corey Saucier was completely unbeatable. He won 3 races in a row from weeks 5 to 7 on 3 different distances and different styles of tracks. But then he kind of cooled off a little bit and only brought in 1 more top 5 the rest of the regular season. Now in the playoffs, he started off strong in this round, but last race he limped that truck home in 29th and barely tied for that last championship spot. He's got to find out what he's been missing since those 3 wins. He's usually towards the front, but it's time to finish the job here tonight for Corey Saucier.
And going back here, looking, Sean, that last place, that 6, we said 5 were going to make it, but because of that tie, we have our 6 here, and that's going to be Matt Johnson. Got to race with him last year in MSM. He had 2 top 5s all season and made it to that championship race. Now, he's made it through each round by the skin of his teeth last season. And this season, it's kind of the same. He's got 4 top 5s on the season, but he clawed his way through, got in on that tie. But, Sean, I can't bet against him because he's here. I mean, like I said, if you have made it to this point, if you're any of these 6 drivers, you have a chance. And no one is more a favorite than anyone else.
Absolutely, and tonight we're going to see that opportunity because, man, we're looking out here at this qualifying, and they are spread out through the field, except Cole Martin right up front once again for Royal Smith Racing. Andrew Harris there for Bronco Motorsports there in second.
Yeah, Sean, he's there in second. You got Nate Nixon there in third for Rev Racing. Michael Madden there in fourth. Vincent Cortez in fifth. Brandon Domain, your new broadcast partner, who kind of took my place the last few weeks, in sixth. Taylor Smith in seventh. Bobby Anderson in eighth. Michael York in ninth. Byron McDonald in 10th. Cody Riggs in 11th, and Corey Saucier there in 12th. So, Sean, right up front, you've got two of them. You got Cole, you got Michael. They have been nose to tail pretty much all season long. So this is it, man. This is the deciding race. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, now the other two playoff drivers, if you look back here a little bit further back, in 15th you got Kyle Wimble for Jonathan Beyer Racing. So he's starting back there. And Matt Johnson, it doesn't surprise me that he's starting off in 20th. He's always that guy that starts off in the back and works his way all the way through.
Yeah, and that's the great part about any form of auto racing, Sean. It's not where you start. It's all about where you finish. And, that's the crazy part about tonight, man. I mean, you could have your championship driver be one of the bottom few guys on the leaderboard just based off of right now. Bonus points don't mean a thing for you. All that you've got to do, you finish ahead of those 5 other drivers, and you get to take home that championship. Sean, you had mentioned to me a little bit ago, actually, some a prize that had kind of come along late this week from Sparkle and Shine.
Yeah, Sparkle and Shine, one of our really incredible sponsors. If you have a Sparkle and Shine around you, please go get your car detailed there. All the pictures I've seen, they are absolutely fantastic. So definitely they've stepped up, and they are offering a free sim button box to the winner of the championship as well. So in addition to the $300, they're also going to get a button box as well. And so really great thing by Sparkle and Shine. We appreciate them. And also from you, Dean Brummett, last season you gave a trophy to the winner of the entire series, even though it wasn't you. So you lost in that last race, unfortunately, but you were classy enough to give a prize, a trophy to the winner, who was Bobby Brill at that time. But you're going to give a trophy to each of the winners of these 3 races.
Yes, I sure am, Sean. Tonight I've got a Truck Series trophy ready to be dialed up and made by my good buddy Daniel Bowdler, and I'll be getting the information from whoever is the champion this evening. Basically, the trophy, it's going to be blue, just like our Truck Series logo is up here. It's going to have the SRN logo on it. Basically, detailed that they were the 2021. I'm going to call it winter to mid-spring champion for this season. The Xfinity one tomorrow night will be red. The Sunday one for Cup is going to be gray or white, and it's going to have your wins, your name, everything on it. So some nice hardware for whoever takes it home tonight. But Sean, before this pace truck pulls off, who do you have taking home that trophy tonight, buddy?
Man, it is so hard for me to bet against any one of these 6. I got to go with Cole Martin. He's got 7 wins on the season, man. How are you going to bet against him? And he's got the pole position.
Well, Sean, we're going to find out this evening. I tell you what, I'm going to throw the Hail Mary tonight. I'm going to say Corey Saucier regains back to the top as Cole Martin takes off here at No Limits, Texas. Green flag in the air for our championship race.
And here we go. Cole Martin takes off, leaves everyone in the dust on that restart. He's been doing that all season long, but right behind him, got a little bit of a race. You got Nathan Nixon going down to the bottom, passing Andrew Harris there. Michael Madden's going to follow his teammate Nathan Nixon through and take the 3rd spot.
They spread out huge through turns 1 and 2 here, Sean. Down for turn number 3 and 4, everybody fights to kind of get to the bottom as these tires get up to speed. Right here's where you got to be really, really careful. These trucks can kind of slide out from underneath you, as we see Madden going underneath Nixon here, and he's going to try to grab that spot. He's got the preferred line heading for turn number 1. Cole Martin leads lap number 1, but here's going to be Madden trying to chase him down.
Yeah, we went from having only one person in the top 4 in the playoffs, and now we got Michael Madden moving up into 2nd, so we got the top 2 as playoff drivers, and all the others are going to have to catch up.
Yeah, Sean, and they are spread out, like you said, all through the field. I mean, this track, everybody gets single file pretty quickly. It is so easy to blow this turn 1, wash up the track. Like I said, you can see these guys all kind of fight for the bottom, and how just big, wide, and sweeping that turn 1 and 2 is here at Texas. You come up off turn number 2, and these trucks get very, very light. You head down the backstretch, and it's kind of crazy as you head for turns 3 and 4. You can almost flat-foot it all the way through this section. So really, Sean, your entire lap's kind of dictated by how you get through turns 1 and 2, but right now these guys are pretty well flat-footing as Cole Martin continues to lead.
Yeah, Cole Martin's leading, but we're taking a look at Bobby Anderson here, trying to move up into the top 7 as he's trying to get past Taylor Smith, who was last season's most improved driver. And so Bobby's going to take that position away as he tries to work his way up towards the front. But look, just behind him, you got Corey Saucier moving into the 9th position, so he's on his way towards the top as well.
Sean, the one thing that I'm interested to see tonight, that I think will also be a big telling point tomorrow, you've got each of these drivers that's got their own things that they're fighting for. We've had a very loyal group here in our truck series this season, have had very, very good car counts every single time. And if you're one of these guys who's out here who you're not fighting for the championship, you're just kind of fighting for the win or the money, are you going to let one of those championship drivers by, or are you just going to race them like it's any other race tonight? And that could dictate a champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a personal decision for everybody. I know everybody wants to go out as a winner, and so it wouldn't shock me at all if we had 2 or 3 of these guys. I'll tell you, Nathan Nixon won last week, and he is one of those drivers that had he not missed the first race in the playoffs, he may have been one of these top 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or however many ties there would be. Vincent Cortez, again, kind of came on a little bit late in the season, so he didn't really have that opportunity there. So some of these drivers really should have been up in this group, and they're proving it here tonight already.
Well, Sean, I'll tell you, one thing that's being proven right now is the speed of Michael Madden. From this drop of the green flag, he started off about 7
Oh, we got some crashing going on.
Oh, trouble on the front straightaway here, Sean. Oh, big wreck. Oh, goodness, we've got trucks upside down, flipping.
That's Kyle Wimble. That's one of our playoff drivers.
Oh, no. The fenders are just gone. The doors are gone.
Metal. No metal, and we are under yellow. Wow, that was brutal.
Oh, and he's going to get hit again. Who was that, Sean?
I don't really sure. Looks like the number 9. That's Tevin Whitner. Yeah, kind of interesting extracurriculars there. But let's go back and find out what happened to start this thing off, because it just kind of looks like some people were kind of off pace a little bit.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let's take a look at that Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec replay. You see them all kind of stack up here. We go 3 wide on the front straightaway.
Oh, there it was. Taylor Smith and it looked like Jonathan Byer, I believe, got into each other, and then that started the whole thing, and we'll get a little bit of a better view here shortly.
I mean, the front straightaway is definitely wide enough to go 3 wide here, Sean, without a doubt. I'm just trying to figure out after the wreck itself how they were still wrecking to a degree. And then just look at him come off the wall. This is... You see Michael York go through. He's going to do a little bit of lawn care to try to avoid the wreck. But, Sean, I definitely think we're going to have to take a look and see what happened there with the flipping, because that was rough.
Oh, we will definitely take a look at that. I want to see what happened, because that 91, that is Kyle Wimble. So... And then he just comes down onto the track and, oh, man, just gets in the middle of everything. Let's take a look at that from Kyle Wimble's point of view here.
I'm not entirely certain that I want to after seeing that one there.
If you're squeamish, close your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, the wreck happens in front of him, and it kind of forces him down the track. He gets another truck, just flips him up on his lid, and he's over 1, 2, 3 times, Sean, before the truck finally comes to a rest. You can see there the engine's blown, and then, like I said, he had another truck come up and just kind of hit him in the back there. So a huge championship implication, because he had to tow, Sean. I mean, that's our first championship contender, and he's still sitting on pit road. I imagine under this caution, he very possibly could go 2, 3, 4 or more laps down. You had everybody pit under that caution, because tires here are definitely a huge piece. So we'll re-rack them here in just a moment, but a huge wreck less than 10 laps into this one, Sean.
And the strategy is already starting off, as we've got Matt Johnson, one of our playoff drivers who started off way back in 20th, is not pitting. And so he is going to stay out along with his 2 teammates, Jack Johnson and James Kerr. And so they might throw a little bit of I'm not going to say a block, but they might be a little bit of a barrier between him and the rest of the drivers here. So nice little strategy call here by Matt Johnson.
Yep, and you're going to definitely figure out what it's going to do for you here early. I mean, if he took care of his stuff early on in that run, Sean, he may You know, he really may not be on a disadvantage of tires. I mean, it's going to take a couple. It's going to take a couple laps before these tires really equalize. And if there's one thing I know about Matt Johnson, he can go through and save his equipment pretty well. So we'll find out what he's got here. And this, you know, right now we look at it, we say, hey, this is something happening 10 laps in. 10 laps to go. This could be the exact same strategy, and like we said, that could be the difference in taking home $50 and taking home 300.
Yeah, but man, huge wreck here in the first 10 laps of this race. These guys have been really, really clean this season, especially on these mile-and-a-half tracks or larger. And so a little bit interesting to see that, but you know, not always the wisest thing to go 3 wide. I'm not going to put the blame on anybody there. It's just too many trucks in one little spot.
Yeah, and 3 wide, like I said, it can work. It's the big thing with 3 wide is it's going to take drivers who, you know, they're aware of their surroundings. They've got their spotters in their ear. You know, it's a very wide front straightaway, but with these trucks and the way that the aero affects them, you know, like you said, I'm not going to put the blame on anybody there. I mean, hey, you got fresh tires, you got fresh rubber, you're going to fight for everything that you have. As it looks like the lights are out on the pace truck. One of the more unique tracks here, Sean, because they've actually got lights up on the fence. So when the lights go out on the pace truck, the lights go out on the fence. So if you see any front straightaway camera views or any camera views at all, and all of a sudden the fence just kind of lights up electric yellow, you'll know what's going on.
Oh, definitely. Now, out there in the YouTube chat is blowing up, so thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight. We got Miss Julie Madden always here for her boys, and so just saying, hey, go Michael Madden, get that last penny on the stack of pennies. So just keep it going on that. Got Jake Rowell out there rooting on his team member. You know, just, man, everybody's out here having a great time. Cheyenne Maples rooting for Bobby Anderson, so we appreciate you guys being here. I mean, this is awesome. Tons and tons of viewers out there. Definitely hit us up on the chat. One guy saying, hey, Dean coming in clutch tonight. Man, Dean, it's good to have you back, brother.
Well, you know, given the circumstances, I promise you I will take what I can have here tonight, Sean. You know, glad to be back. Like I said, it's, you know, some changes in life that happened recently. But, hey, like I said, we've got tonight and tomorrow to be able to do this thing together. But right now, we're going to have that pace truck pull off here. The field's going to be in the hands of Johnson. He's going to be ready to roll down here into that restart zone, and he's going to get on the gas. But yellow looks to be out again here, Sean. Looks like maybe they delayed the green.
Yeah, it looked like some people in the back were not lining up properly. And so we had a lot of people off pace there. So they're going to delay that green one more time.
Man, I tell you what, we got all excited. I was ready to see what happened, but you know, you saw the yellow lights come on the fence, so pace truck will be back out here, and you and I'll have to find something to talk about here, Sean. Act like we accidentally like each other or something.
Well, hey, you know, that delayed green or that delayed yellow, whatever you want to call it, I think that helps out Matt Johnson here. You know, with those older tires, and it looks like, oh, they're waiting for the pace truck to come around. That's what's going on there. But I think that really helps Matt Johnson here because, again, just everybody's tires are cold, including his. You know, everybody, yeah, there's 9 laps on those, but it just throws people off their game because all of them were pumped up about it too.
Yeah, and as the leader, you've got to know here. You're like, okay, hey, I've got everybody behind me. You know, you saw what type of a jump Cole was able to get at the start. And that's the crazy thing with these trucks, Sean. You know, they're down a little bit on horsepower from what you would expect to see in like the Xfinity Series cars or even the, I mean, they're a similar horsepower package to the NASCAR Cup cars on these mile-and-a-half tracks, but those Cup cars just travel so much faster. They do have more horsepower. So when you have a guy who can get those rear tires hooked up and go, kind of catch everybody by surprise, you don't have as much rear wheel spin to worry about. So if you're Matt Johnson here, as the green flag comes out, you're going to try to jump out here, get to this lead. He doesn't get quite as big of a lead as what Cole Martin did early in the race, but he's going to lead the field down for turn number 1.
Well, again, he's got his 2 teammates side by side here, kind of creating a barrier, whether they're meaning to do that or not. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Cole Martin to get around, even on those new tires, because you got one up top, one on the bottom. Cole Martin might have to take it 3 wide here in order to get the line.
And he's going to try to get under here, Sean. And I mean, here's the thing. If you can pick them off one at a time, you have the fresher tires. He's going to get a pretty big run here. Get underneath, down this front straightaway. He gets all the room that he needs from Kerr on the outside, and heading for turn one, Cole's going to have the preferred line. So now he's going to set his sights here on Matt Johnson. And if you're Matt Johnson, you see what's behind you. You say, okay, hey, we kind of played our hand early. He's going to try to break the draft just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to too much matter here. That 51 truck is coming with a full head of steam.
Man, he is on his way. Another driver that's on his way, Michael Madden back here. He is just now passing Jack Johnson, setting his sights on Vincent Cortez and James Kerr in front of him as well. So we're about to have a race, and Cole Martin is going to go to the inside to try to take that lead, and he'll get it.
Now, here's going to be the big thing, Sean, because Matt Johnson now is caught up in no man's land. There is no grip up there on the high side of this Texas Motor Speedway for turns 1 and 2. Turn 3 and 4, yeah, there is a little bit. You can get yourself a good run, especially if the person inside of you gets super tight. As you'll see here, I mean, he's going to hold pretty well, actually start to make a little bit of a run, try to cross over Vincent Cortez here, but Sean, that's the big thing with it. Right now, if you're Matt Johnson, you know that you don't have the lead. You're trying to hold what track position you can. Don't want to burn those tires up. You're off sequence with everybody else in terms of pits. So everybody else has a few more laps of fuel than you have. If I'm Matt Johnson, I'm hoping this thing goes about maybe another 7, 8 laps. I'm maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th. And I get to see another caution that's going to bring everybody back down because he does not want to see this thing go green. Yeah,
that is that strategy for Matt Johnson. And even I don't think it'd even be another 7 laps. I think another 3 or 4, everybody's going to come in regardless. And so you'll have a few people stay out, but for the most part, these leaders, they want fresh tires the entire race. And, I'll tell you, so back here in the back, Kyle Wimble, who is majorly involved in that big accident there, he is 3 laps down, but it's still super early in this race. So he's still got time to get up there. And then Corey Saucier back here in 18th. So he's dropped 6 spots from the beginning, but it looks like he's got a head of steam as he's passing Jonathan Meyer on the outside.
And if you're Kyle Wimble, your championship hopes right now, you hope that everybody has the worst race of their life. We hate to see caution flags. We love to see our green flag racing, but if you're Kyle Wimble, you want everybody to lose their minds right now, and you want every caution that you can possibly see to try to get those laps back.
Cole Martin still leads this thing. Now, Matt Johnson has not fallen off nearly as much as we thought he would, especially since he has the older tires. Looks like Michael Madden's finally tracking him down there, but sticking back there in 3rd place after about 9 laps of green flag, 8 laps of green flag. He's doing a great job of it.
What's really crazy about this turn 1 here, and like I said, Sean, I was not a fan when they went through to repave this thing, kind of flattened it out a few years ago. But what it has kind of led to here, especially on iRacing, is when you go through that turn 1 or 2, you see Matt Johnson get loose. Whoo, he gets down to the bottom there, Sean, gets on that apron, and that upsets that truck big time as Michael Madden's going to go ahead and stick his nose to the inside to make that pass. But when you get down here for this turn 1 and 2, that bottom is absolutely the sacred ground. You can kind of make a run up top, but the bottom's going to be the absolute fastest. It's kind of turned this 1.5 miles, this turns 1 and 2, almost like a short track. If you get down in there and someone is holding you up, you're not scared to use the bumper just because it's going to move them up the hill without completely junking them up.
Yeah, we never recommend, really messing people up out there on the track, but using that bumper is definitely a NASCAR strategy, and so you will see that from time to time here. We saw that a little bit at the beginning of the season, definitely saw it on the short tracks. So right now, our playoff drivers, 3 of the top 4.
Yeah, the rest of them there, Sean, Bobby Anderson and Corey Saucier, my pick to win the race. They're kind of mired middle of the pack back here, but still a lot of race to go. We're just about to cross the, almost the quarter mark, the almost quarter mark here in this race. So these laps are ticking off pretty quickly, and these guys are still just kind of nose to tail. Vincent Cortez has gotten up to the back bumper of Cole Martin. Michael Madden's right there. I mean, these guys are just all under a blanket.
Yeah, Vincent Cortez does not care if you're in the playoffs or not. He is trying to win this race.
And that's the thing Cole Martin has to realize right here is Vincent Cortez wants that. I get it. Cole wants to win the race and the championship. But right now, if Vincent Cortez starts putting too much pressure on you and you're Cole, you might just want to roll over, kind of let him have that spot and fight Michael Madden in. Because, so far the gap's pretty even. I personally think Michael Madden is biding his time, though, Sean. He was fast from the get-go, and I just don't halfway wonder if right now he's just not kind of chilling out there, letting everything play in front of him. just to maybe see if Vincent Cortez tries to bite off a little more than he can chew and doesn't get Cole Martin involved in it.
Got a couple of our playoff drivers back here. Bobby Anderson, Corey Saucier. They're nose to tail back here. They're in 14th and 15th position, but technically they're still in the money because they are 4th and 5th on the track.
Yeah, if you're the rest of the playoff drivers, yellow is out on the track here, Sean.
It looks like it might be Corey Knight. Corey Knight on the infield right now.
Well, he's got that thing.
What happened.
Well, he's got that thing. To the outside wall. He's got that thing John Deere green this evening here, Sean, but I just don't think that was exactly the tractor work he was looking to do there. So, yeah, not sure what brought out that caution, but I tell you who definitely enjoyed that one is going to be Matt Johnson.
I mean, this is simply one of those things that we see here at tracks like this where somebody gets into the outside wall, that's Corey, gets up into the outside wall, comes down, takes out Robert Yost, the ultimate underdog himself, and then goes down into the infield. So just a miscalculation by Corey Knight there, bounces off the wall and takes out one of the guys that was in the playoffs last week.
The big thing about these mile and a half, I don't know if you call them cookie cutter, D-shaped, whatever. I'll call them quad oval mile and a half tracks, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Texas. Sean, the crazy thing with them is you don't realize how fast those corner exits come up to you until you get them there. Charlotte, to me, is the absolute worst. You come off turn 4 at Charlotte, and that wall will reach out and grab you. And here at Texas, it can do the same thing just because of how much wear you get on these tires. If you get that right front heated up, you're going to bounce off that wall, and you're going to see exactly what happened there with Corey and the 92 of Robert Yost.
Well, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun right now. Corey Knight, one of our good friends of the broadcast here. Let's bring him up into the booth and find out what happened. Hey, Corey Knight, Sean, and Dean up in the booth. How's it going, bud?
I've definitely had better days than what I just had. What's up?
What just happened? We got to ask.
I have no idea. I was just talking to the guys on our team about, like, whenever you're pulling out from behind somebody, how, like, the truck feels like it's really, really loose. And I think when Bayer got in front of me right there, like, it kind of, like, sucked the nose of my truck up with it. Like, he goes and like starts drifting out high, and whenever he does, like, you can see the front of my truck just starts pulling towards the wall. And, like, I don't know. Like, I really have no idea why the truck got so loose. I was just telling all my guys the same thing. It blows my mind.
Hey, man, it happens out there. But, you know, now that you're in the pits for a little while there, tell us what you think is going to happen in this race here tonight.
Well, honestly, it started out a lot more green than I thought it was going to with how loose everybody was getting out of 1 and 2 in practice. I expected to see a whole lot of cautions coming out of 1 and 2, but by what I'm seeing, it's actually coming out of 3 and 4, which is really shocking to me. But I mean, I didn't get enough time to look at everybody else on the track in practice, so I don't know what lines everybody's running or anything like that. I'm just kind of following the leader right now, trying to stay out of trouble, but it's not working too well, as you can tell.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you get right back to it, but we appreciate you being up here and the good sense of humor you got with it.
No problem, guys. Y'all have a great one.
All right.
Well, Sean, one thing he mentioned there, and it's something that's definitely one to watch this evening. As I actually look out here right now, you've got Cole Martin out front. Kyle Wimble actually stayed out here, Sean, to try and get one of his 3 laps back. So he's going to get waved around this pace truck when we get to 1 to go. He's going to have old tires, so he is hoping and praying for another caution just to try and be able to contend. But Kyle Wimble right now fighting for everything he can. But what Corey had mentioned there, Sean, talking about the trucks in front of you, and we really, really saw it at Michigan this past week with the Cup Series, as well as at Charlotte with the Cup Series. The aero packages on these trucks, where they have so low of downforce, or rather so high of downforce, you get tucked up behind these guys, and you know it just wants to move the truck. It'll just get tight. It'll get loose. You never really know what it's going to do, and especially when you're fighting an already loose condition, it can just aggravate it that much more. And like Corey said, he got that dirty air, got him up into the wall, and we saw what can come of it.
Well, man, like you said, we've got Kyle Wimble getting it one of his laps back, and so now he will only be 2 laps down. Again, really early in this race, he still has a shot at this thing.
Yeah, and like I said, if we wind up getting to this same kind of a field that we were in, I mean, I know we went 8-9 laps before our first caution. From there we went about what, Sean, another 10-15 laps before we saw another one. If we start getting in these quick little 10-15 lap runs, it could very well play into Kyle Wimble's hand. I mean, you saw what Matt Johnson had to do to get up to the front of the field, and right now, Kyle's got nothing to lose, buddy. I mean, he's fighting for everything he's got, and if he can get these laps back, you better watch out, because that man's going to be on the gas pedal.
No, he certainly is, and man, you just got to keep moving forward. That's all you can do out here. I will tell you that Cole Martin up in first, Michael Madden in third. Matt Johnson is the big winner of that entire caution because he is sitting up here in sixth place after having pitted just the one time.
And like I said, Sean, you got to make that track position any way that you can. And now that he's up at the front and doesn't have as much dirty air, we're going to take a look and see what he can do. So right now, we've got 5 championship contenders there in the top 8. So, Sean, you haven't heard it in a few weeks, buddy, but it's about to get spicy.
It is about to get a lot of fun out here because the other 3 guys that are in the top 8 that are not in the playoffs are amazing drivers also. But we got the green flag. Cole Martin gets another one of his really incredible restarts. He is just absolutely amazing at those as well, as Michael Madden dives down to the inside to try to take that second spot away from Vincent Cortez.
Cortez not going to roll over, though. He's going to fight him. Trouble off of turn 2. You got one truck around hard to the inside wall, off the racing surface. That looks to be James Kerr. No yellow will wave. We will stay green, but definitely that 75 truck got loose there, Sean. Came around, hit that inside wall.
So easy to do, especially on new tires here. You just don't know how they're going to react every time.
Sean, you had mentioned one thing about Cole Martin in terms of his restarts, and it's something that I have recently discovered myself when it comes to iRacing is sometimes when it comes to restarts, there are things that you can do as the driver in the lead that other people, may not see. I'm not going to give away too many trade secrets here, but there are things that you can do to just get that big jump, and having the control is the biggest one. Because no one else knows when you're going to hit that throttle pedal. But the big thing is it gives him that big gap. It's going to let Michael Madden kind of fall into draft here with him. And he's going to slowly reel him back in. But there's going to be that air bubble that we were talking about earlier with Corey Knight, Sean, where Michael may just get right up to the back bumper of Cole, and it may just stall that truck out. I mean, he's trying to send it as hard as he can right now. And he's doing a pretty good job of closing in on him, but is he going to burn his stuff up getting there?
Well, and that's the name of the game tonight is tires and fuel, tires and fuel. And, because inevitably we're going to get one of these long green flag runs that the truck series says, oh, we got somebody. Well, not going to get a green flag run this time as Jonathan Meyer is sideways upside down.
Moon.
Oh, my goodness, that's Robert Yost. That was way in the air there as we will get our third caution of the evening here tonight.
Well, I tell you what, Rob Yost did not sign up for the Speed Racing Network Space and Aeronautics program here, but he got a first-class ticket straight to the moon. Let's take a look at that Sandwich Band Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec replay here, Sean. Talk about that turn 2, how slick it is.
Yeah, this is from the view of Robert Yost already here, and he was not the one that started this wreck. There was a wreck in front of him, and he just ran out of space.
Yeah, and the bad part is it looks like somebody had hit that truck in front of him, and the way he was coming back up the track, I don't think Rob had much of a chance there, buddy. It looked like that truck was going to be coming right back into the path of that 92. Let's see here. It looks like it may be Jonathan Byer.
Oh, no,
it's actually the 71 of Travis Trevelyan goes around, gets into Jonathan Byer. Jonathan tries to save that truck, but it loops on him so fast, and especially at that part of the track where the truck's so light anyway. And just unfortunate for Jonathan and unfortunate for Rob Yost, nowhere to go. We were kind of talking about that grip level earlier, Sean. Just look how loose Travis gets. He's going to try to fight this thing the whole way through the corner, and just nowhere for Jonathan Byer to go.
Yeah, just a rough hit all the way around. None of our playoff drivers involved in that wreck that time around. So that is the good news there as we head back. And we're going to see where everybody kind of lines up now.
Well, Sean, you just saw it right there. Kyle Wimble was the lucky dog under this caution. So he can actually go back around here, and now that he missed out on that last pit stop, he can go ahead and come around here, get himself 4 new tires and fuel, which I think is actually looks like he may very well be coming to pit road here. So that's going to put him now, Sean, 1 lap down. He's already got 2 of them back. And here will be the thing. Jonathan Byer had a pretty rough shot on that one. He's in the pits currently. So what that should do, in theory, once Kyle Wimble goes through here, we circle everything, cycle it all out, Kyle Wimble should be the first and only car 1 lap down. So if there's another caution and he avoids it, what looked to be a catastrophic start to the night kind of gets the reset switch flipped on him.
And that's all he needs is a chance. Kyle has been really, really good this entire postseason, where he's had some really great finishes, and that's really, I mean, you can see the leaderboard right now. You got 4 in the top 5, yeah, but that 5th spot is only in 9th place right now. So that 5th spot is worth some money. Go after it.
Yeah, and here's going to be the big thing, for the other guys, Anderson and Corey Saucier, who were kind of safe in the money. They didn't have so much worry about it there. They're kind of sitting here going, hey guys, let's not see any more yellow flags. We'd kind of like to stay green and lock up our money, but at the same time, if you're Kyle Wimble, in Kyle Wimble's perfect world, Cole Martin gets loose here on this restart, takes out the entire field in front of him, and he goes by unscathed to get his lap back. That's Kyle Wimble's perfect world right now.
Yeah, I mean, but Cole Martin, and you've seen him this entire season. That perfect world is likely not going to happen at the hands of Cole Martin.
Oh, well, that's why we say the perfect world, Sean. We didn't say the realistic scenario. I mean, come on now. You got to give me a little credit here. I haven't been out of the booth that long. No, that's the perfect world. But like I said, in a realistic world here, Sean, Kyle Wimble's championship chances, they're not completely gone. I mean, by the time the green flag waves here, we'll have a little over half the race to go. He'd love to see another quick yellow, maybe 1 or 2 laps and another quick yellow, be out of it, get his lucky dog back, and then whatever happens from there, it's in his hands.
We are trying to get everybody lined back up as we're going to come across the start-finish line. I think we're going to get the 1 to go signal this time around. But, let's head back really quick and talk about the team championship that was sponsored by Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia, where Rev Racing just dominated all year long, led by Michael Madden here in the 2nd position, and then Nathan Nixon as well with a win on the season back here in 5th. Byron McDonald, another driver with the win, and also a former broadcaster of ours back here in 8th. Sean Kozier, the leader of Sparkle and Shine. So he is one of our big sponsors and also a great driver out there. And then Cody Riggs, who's had a really decent season this season. So Rev Racing, 5 guys that are just stacked up, man.
And I'll tell you, Sean, when it comes to that team championship, because on the Cup Series side, my team that I'm a part of, Royal Smith Racing, not to sound too overzealous here, but I mean, they dominated that team championship. I had 1 win. You had Jacob Smith with a couple wins, Scott Healy, Jake Roel with multiple wins this season. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, crossing that checkered flag the other night and being told, hey, you won the team championship, it was awesome, man. It was like, hey, the best way I could describe it is it's like watching your favorite team win a conference championship and going, man, that's awesome. But you still got a few buddies who are up there racing for the big one. It's time to go win the big game.
Yep, no, can't rest on your laurels. You got to get it right back going again. And so here we go. Pace truck dives off. Cole Martin gets another good restart, but not as good as the last one. Michael Madden is not too far back from him this time around.
Well, that's a big thing about Michael Madden. While Cole Martin has definitely gotten these restarts timing down to a T here, he has gone through to be able to kind of sniff those out throughout the season. And, this is where you got to pull all your tricks out of the bag here, Sean, because for 19 weeks, everybody has watched you race a certain way. If you can throw them that one curveball right here, as you actually see Vincent Cortez getting underneath Michael Madden. I'm not certain what had happened there, Sean, but he had gotten real close to him and then just kind of fallen off.
Yeah, Cortez, man, really putting on a good race here been up in the top 3 pretty much all night. But look who's on the outside there. Matt Johnson, who had that incredible pit strategy, started off in 20th place, is up in 4th now.
Making a fool out of me, Sean.
That's Sean Saucier, and that's
Sean Saucier goes around.
Yeah, that's going to bring out another one.
That looked like, I couldn't tell. Maybe that other truck was Brian Crocker that had gotten into him there, Sean.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. So Sean Saucier goes around, and we will go back and take another wreck replay brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia. As we'll line up that camera for you and find out exactly what happened. You got Andrew Harris right on the tail of Sean Saucier, and Sean just loses it. Yeah,
so easy to do. So easy to do. Sean, I'll be honest with you. One of the big things that I have said when it comes to iRacing for the last few years, and especially with the different rules packages that NASCAR has implemented, I felt like some of these vehicles, the trucks, the Cup cars, the Xfinity cars, because of the lower horsepower that they had given, it almost made driving some of these cars too easy. It was hard to break traction in a lot of places. But that's the one thing with this Texas Motor Speedway. That turn 2, there is, when you go in there to turn 1, it feels like there's no banking at all. It just feels like you're hitting a flat track almost. And that rear end will come around on you in a heartbeat. And unfortunately for Sean Saucier, you see it happen there. Unfortunate for him, but fortunate for that man we were talking about needing that caution, Kyle Wimble. He should be lucky dog eligible here to be able to get back on the lead lap and start that run back towards the front, Sean.
And there he goes. He is going to get that lap back, and it is about to be on where all 6 of our playoff drivers are back on the lead lap. In fact, let's see if we can't get him up into the booth and see what he's thinking right now.
Let's take a look here.
Hey,
Kyle Wimble, this is Dean Brummett and Sean Griffith up in the Speed Racing Network booth. You got a copy with us here, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Oh, not much, buddy. We saw the start of the race, what looked to be championship hopes kind of dashed there on a big wreck for you. You go through here, get the quick cautions back-to-back after staying out yourself, taking a manual wave around, and now getting 2 lucky dogs. You're back on the lead lap, Kyle. You were getting ready to set up here for the last half of this race. Just in what little bit that you've seen so far, what is going to have to happen for you to get back to the front here now that you got this new lease on life?
Man, we just dogged it out and we got it back on this lead lap, and now that, man, we're just going to be right back up to the front. No time. We're fast. So I never got down on myself, so we're good.
That is big patience, and that's really what you need on a track with 30 drivers here at Texas. But, man, congratulations on getting back on that lead lap. That is tough to do in itself. Get back out there, man. Hope to see you in victory lane.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, Sean, there you have it. The driver of the 91, Kyle Wimble, that new lease on life like we just talked about here. He's going to have the chance to go out now back on the lead lap, kind of set his sights for the front, but he's got a long way to go here, Sean. What may be the best for him is maybe kind of doing what Matt Johnson had to get to the front, maybe one of those pit calls. Right now, let's do a quick run through the field. You got Cole Martin up front, as we've seen much of the night. Michael York, it looks like, is going to line up here in second. Kevin Winker looks like he's going to line up here in third. Actually, I may not be looking at the right ones here, Sean.
I think you're off. We got Travis Trevelyan in third here. Looks like we got Andrew Harris back here in fourth. Michael Madden, one of our playoff drivers, in fifth. Vincent Cortez, who's been side by side with Michael Madden all night long, he is back here in sixth. Nathan Nixon from Rev Racing in seventh. And now we got a couple playoff drivers. We got Matt Johnson, who had that great pit strategy and is currently one of the hardest chargers of the race. And then Corey Saucier, who he's kind of been kind of quiet here today, but that's kind of how he races too. He's just kind of quiet until he passes you for the lead.
Well, Sean, it looks like here we might have missed it just in talking with Kyle, but it looks like maybe some pit strategy had taken place, possibly some two-tire stops on that last round of yellows here. So, if you're Cole Martin, you're kind of digging this right now, buddy. You're up front. You got the 4 new tires. You got several drivers in between yourself and the first guy with 4 tires. So, we've seen what type of a restart Cole can go through and get here, but let's just take a look. My teammate last year, Travis Trevelyan, there in third, saw him in a little bit of an incident earlier involving Jonathan Byer, but, you never know when it comes to racing here, Sean, who's going to be good and win.
I'm actually not showing that Cole Martin pitted that time around. I could be incorrect on that, but I am showing that he is the only one that stayed out. And again, that doesn't sound accurate, but it could be. So based off my scoring, he last pitted on lap 25. So we'll see if that's really the truth or not.
See, this is what happens when you don't give Daniel Bowder, our pit reporter, his weekly allotment of a bag of peanuts and a couple of cans of his favorite beverage, Sean. He skips out on us, and we don't know what's going on track.
Man, out there in the YouTube chat, I've got to say this right now. Robert Yos, who we saw just get blasted off the track, he wrote in the YouTube chat, thank you for joining us, Robert. He said, "Mom, I'm on the moon."
Well, going to the moon here as well as Cole Martin. He's going to be on that gas pedal. You saw a little bit of wheel spin behind him, but Michael York going to try to break out here and follow him. Going to be almost 3 wide as we head for turn number 1 here.
Yeah, we're going to get back to the back. Andrew Harris is up there with him, but then Vincent Cortez gets down to the underside of him, and then you got Travis Trevelyan on the outside.
Well, they're going to fight for every spot here, Sean. Travis Trevelyan stuck up on the outside. Andrew Harris as well. Michael Madden stuck in the draft there. Vincent Cortez. Vincent's going to try to get that big run here to the inside of Andrew, and he's going to get just that. 2 wide through this front straightaway. Everybody kind of sorting out here. Right now you've got differing tire strategies, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. As Travis is going to try to turn straight down the track. Oh, looks like he got a little loose there. I thought he was going to try to turn under Vincent Cortez and get that spot, but 3 wide. Trouble. Corey Saucier is going to go around.
Yep, that's going to bring out another caution as Corey Saucier goes spinning. That was Travis Trevelyan on the inside, got into Michael Madden, who got into Corey Saucier. And now Michael Madden's hurt on the infield as well. That changes everything, Dean.
That changes everything indeed there, Sean. And, Michael Madden, you can see that rear spoiler kind of bent up a little bit there. That's going to be an interesting Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec replay. I'm not sure what happened. I know that they were 3 wide heading for turn number 3, and I don't know if Travis had washed up the track, what exactly happened. It almost looked like Michael was trying to get out of the middle of that sandwich there. He kind of goes to shoot the gap. They're 3 wide. He's got Corey on the outside. And then just contact just leads to everybody kind of going around here. Nathan Nixon was almost involved in that one, Sean. And then after the fact, it looks like, oh, man.
That was Byron McDonald. Teammates.
Oh, man. Michael Madden had it saved, and then Byron McDonald comes up, gets into his fender, and around he goes. So, Sean, it's flipped back on its head again here, buddy.
You can see once it got 3 wide, there was just nowhere to go as all 3 of them were going down there at the same time. But it looked like Matt Johnson was involved in that wreck as well. So 3 of our playoff drivers all involved. And you can see Bobby Anderson right behind him getting it woed up saying, nah, I'm not getting involved in that.
And that could be the difference right now there, Sean, with Bobby Anderson having another shot at it. If your numbers were right and Cole Martin did not pit under that last caution, maybe he saw something that we didn't, said, hey, I'd rather go ahead and stay out in front, stay out in this clean air rather than to have to fight through everybody. And carnage ensues behind him, Sean. But once again, you got those 2 fast repairs, buddy. This night is not over for anybody.
No, not at all. And in fact, it looks like Michael Madden has already used one of those 2 fast repairs as his truck looks to be clean once again.
Well, I'm telling you, if I am in front of Michael Madden, because he's a very aggressive. I'm not saying he is a dirty driver at all, Sean, but he is aggressive when it comes to going through and moving that truck where he wants it to be. If I'm one of those guys in front of him here, I might be having that in mind as he tries to work his way back through this field. I know what he is capable of. I know that he can get back up there. And right now, with, like I said, a little under half of the race left, the time is ticking.
Well, the time was ticking for Kyle Wimble, and now all of a sudden you can see him on your screen right now in 13th place. He is the third playoff driver out there. So he went from being completely out of this race, 3 laps down, to now he's sitting in that third playoff spot. And let's just go back really quick and take a look at these payouts one more time here, Dean, because he went from getting 0, 6th place in the playoffs, gets nothing, to being in the spot for $100 just because of that one wreck.
Yeah, and that's what one wreck can do to you here. Now you can't get you can't get too excited just yet, Sean, because here's the thing: you were 3 laps down. You're now on the lead lap, so you don't know what's going to be coming behind you. I'll tell you, the one thing that this drive kind of reminds me of, and I know I'm reaching way back in the memory bank here. I went to my very first NASCAR sanctioned event back in 2004, Sean. It was the fall race at Charlotte, and I'll never forget. Turn 1, lap 1, there's a big wreck. Jeff Gordon gets involved in the thing, and he goes 2 or 3 laps down, and this is the first year of the lucky dog rule. And he gets back onto the lead lap and winds up coming home 2nd in that race. So, you know, it's kind of giving me some flashbacks here into the past of that 2004 Charlotte fall race.
Oh, man, he would love nothing. Kyle would love nothing more than to have a repeat of that event. Cole Martin has been sitting up here in front for most of the race, and so there he is once again in first place. And behind him, he's got 7 non-playoff drivers. So he's sitting kind of pretty right now, especially if he can get another big jump.
Yeah, and that's going to be, you know, it's going to be interesting here, Sean, as we come down to the end, because you're starting to see that aggressiveness come out with everybody. You know, some of the championship drivers, like we said, involved in some wrecks here this evening. Some of the regulars, the contenders already in wrecks. So, you know, Cole Martin has the best view of the thing. You know, I mean, hey, he's got the clean air, he's got the control. But you've still got to stay diligent. You're going to be coming here to about 41, 42 laps to go at the restart, Sean. If this thing stays green, you never know what could transpire.
Not at all. Nice little mixture of the the truck manufacturers there on the left side as well. So lots of Fords, lots of Chevys in that top 10. So no real advantage whichever way you go.
Well, we're going to see the biggest advantage here at the entire track, which is going to be that clean air with Cole Martin out in front. As that Chevrolet Pace truck goes to hit pit road, the field in the hands of Cole Martin. Green flag getting ready to come out. It looks like he waits a little longer this time, Sean, and he gets back into the gas. Green flag is out. He doesn't get quite as big of a jump this time.
No, but Vincent Cortez almost cuts that corner to get down to the inside of Michael York to take that second position.
I'll tell you what, he decided that he just had entirely too much traction on the left side tires, wanted to take a little bit of it off going through the grass areas. Michael York's going to fight back to the inside here. We're going to see what those new tires with Vincent Cortez can do as caution is out on the speedway again, Sean.
And it looks like something may have happened there with Tevin Whitner. Not sure what it was, but we'll go back and we'll find out as we go to another Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia Wreck replay as we get another caution here on about lap 46, 47.
Let's definitely look here and see what we got.
And he's just up there kind of all by himself, and man, just takes a direct left turn. And you can see that wheel stuck to the left. That's got to be some sort of a system failure.
Yeah, that's got to be either a system failure, Sean, or I swear to you, that almost looks like a wheel coming disconnected. Let's just see. No, man, he just got loose. It just kind of turns. Yeah, that's a tough hit there.
That is huge. As you're coming off that, yeah, he just gets sideways. Look at that. Man, yeah, huge hit.
Yeah, big slide there. So, Sean, another yellow coming out here. So, you know, the field's going to restack up here. You know, if you're Cole Martin, I think you're kind of loving these yellows a little bit because I don't know how close fuel was going to be for these guys. I have no earthly idea what the fuel mileage was here for tonight, but I'd have to imagine if I'm Cole Martin, I'm probably pretty happy watching these yellows fly.
Well, man, let's get. Let's go back and talk to Rob Yost, who got sent to the moon a little bit earlier, and kind of get his feelings on what's going on with the race here tonight. Hey, Rob Yost, Sean Griffith, and Dean Brummett up here in the booth, buddy. So tell us what happened from your point of view.
Oh, man. I finally just got back from the moon, Had to go to the ER, get checked out, but all I saw was the sky a couple times.
Well, man, I mean, always good to see you out there on the racetrack, and we've called you the ultimate underdog all year long. Not sure if you can make it back from that hit, obviously, but, man, it's been a lot of fun watching you all season long, and, tell us what you think about what's going to happen in this race the rest of the way.
Well, hopefully these guys can calm down. We saw a couple of yellows quick. Sorry, my newly black cat is scratching the back of my simulator seat. But hopefully everybody can calm down, because I'd hate to see a championship get ruined by people over driving and causing these yellows, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Dean.
No, I was just going to say, Rob, with the trucks tonight, I haven't had too much of a chance to practice them. I've had a few laps around with some different cars this week. Is it a real big situation in terms of loose coming off of turn 2, or is it just kind of right now just a little bit of overdriving?
Well, the thing is, everybody can drive 3 and 4, probably with their eyes closed, but 1 and 2, the truck, you can go in loose and then all of a sudden come off tight. So there's no happy medium with this. I'm not saying the setup, but like there's guys coming off turn 2 and they're just getting on the hammer too hard, and it just loops around, or they wash up. We saw a lot of spin outs in practice. So my goal was to just stay in the back, and didn't work out.
Well, Rob, I'm glad to see being the first man in space in a NASCAR-sanctioned vehicle went pretty well for you here. So, buddy, we'll get you back down there to the rest of your chat, and we'll be interesting to see how this goes. Who you got here in these final closing laps for tonight?
I think my two teammates, not truly affiliated, but I think Bobby Anderson and Corey have a good shot. You know what I mean? As long as they calm down, set in. And you know what I mean? It's a gambling's game, so you just gotta race that race, see if it comes to you.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you being here. Definitely, we love seeing you out there in the chat, and hopefully we'll see you in some races in the off season and next season as well.
Yep, I'll be back.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Well, Sean, I tell you, I was just looking here, and right in front of our broadcast booth, there was a string that just came down, and attached to it was a hot dog and a Bud Light. My buddy Jake Rowell is actually up on the spotter stand tonight, spotting for that 51 of Cole Martin, his driver there for RSR. So he knew that I was getting a little parched and sent some refreshments down. He's wanting to know if you're wanting anything.
Man, I'm good right now, although I did see videos of you hammering some beers at Charlotte in the live race. And so a lot of fun for a few of our drivers. And just keep in mind that not this weekend, but next weekend, we are going to have about 30 SRN drivers all heading to Nashville for the race in Nashville. So just another one of those things that we do here at Speed Racing Network that no other series does. We're planning a get-together in Nashville with about 30 of our guys to watch the actual NASCAR drivers go at it.
Well, buddy, I don't know whose bright idea it was to set that race up the week after our championship season ended. I have a feeling we might have some differences settled not on the racetrack, but hey, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, the bridge being crossed. Cole Martin coming across this start-finish line, back on the gas pedal as he heads for turn number 1 here, ticking down to the very end of this Truck Series championship here, Sean.
Yeah, and again, his teammate Michael York gets down to that bottom side really quickly, and that kind of cuts off Vincent Cortez, and that allows Cole Martin to just drive away a little bit more.
I tell you right now, Vincent Cortez, I think, has a very, very good race truck, and I think with the tire situation that he's on right now, Sean, I think he is in the catbird seat for the actual race win itself. If he can get up here and make some quick work out of Michael York, he can set his sights there for Cole Martin. And the big thing that Cole has to remember is if Vincent does get up here and he does challenge you to the rear of that 51 machine, you've got a good little bit of space. You've got Kyle Wimble who's now fought his way up to the 9th spot. You've got a lot of trucks between yourself and the ones fighting for the championship. But with 35 laps to go here, Sean, or as we come to 35 to go, you cannot lift. You cannot give up too many spots, because one caution flag, as we have seen, can change this entire complex of this race.
Well, man, take a look at all the green on the left side. You got Cole Martin way out in front, then you got 5 in a row. All of the rest of the playoff drivers back there. Kyle Wimble in 9th, Michael Madden in 10th, Bobby Anderson in 11th, Matt Johnson 12th, Corey Saucier 13th. This is the type of racing we like to see.
You know, this track here, Sean, like I told you at the top of the show, I'm not a huge fan of this configuration of this track, but I'm going to tell you right now, buddy, this has produced probably the best mile-and-a-half racing that we have seen all season here for Speed Racing Network for this truck series.
Oh, definitely. When we made the schedule, we were a little bit concerned about Texas being the last race. I know there was a big push to have Michigan be the last race because of the speed there, but this has turned out really, really good. Everything's bigger in Texas, including the stakes.
Yes, sir, and I tell you right now, the stakes are closing in big time for Cole Martin, because right now Vincent Cortez is putting a lot of work in behind Michael York, and that's allowed Andrew Harris to kind of close up to this little bit of a group here. Not too far behind our broadcast partner. They're running top 5 right now, Byron McDonald, but these 4 trucks up front here, Sean, they are under a blanket, and the question is this one of those things where Cole Martin is faster because he's in clean air? Michael York gets loose. What a save by the driver of the 81. Andrew Harris is going to get right up underneath him. Give him a big shove down the straightaway here, Sean. But that was a big moment for those guys.
Ooh, that could have been disaster for Vincent Cortez and Andrew Harris. But worked out really, really well for him. But that allows Byron McDonald to scoop up just a little bit closer here. And so now the top 4 of the top 5 are kind of getting close as Cole Martin drives away by about 0.6 of a second.
Oh, if you're Cole Martin, you loved that. That was just an absolute gift in your rearview mirror, because now you've got a little more distance. Now, Vincent Cortez now is going to move up into second. You know, I told you I thought if he could make quick work of Michael York that he could probably reel in Cole. Well, now the big thing is it took him a few laps to do it. He got a little heat on the tires. You know, you've got a little bit of a gap to the guy in front of you, but you still got to fight these guys off behind you. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there with that 69 truck as we head down towards these last 30 laps.
You can see a little bit of a wiggle there from Andrew Harris as well as Michael York there. So still got some wiggling going on off these corners. Some of these drivers have not completely figured it out yet.
You know, that's what I always love about these Speed Racing Network races is Andrew Harris is going to be in the wall hard off of turn 2.
Oh,
big wreck down the backstretch here, Sean.
Nathan Nixon, Byron McDonald, big involved in that. And I'm trying to be sure that and Matt Johnson
Matt Johnson's involved.
Try to check all of our other playoff drivers here. It looks like the rest of them made it through, but Matt Johnson involved in that.
Big wreck here, Sean. Huge wreck off of turn 2. We've seen be a huge problem point for these drivers all night. I'm not certain if Matt Johnson has any faster pairs left, but that's going to be a double-decker sandwich man racing sports memorabilia wreck replay, because you saw Andrew Harris. I'm not sure what happened, but you saw him just kind of go up the track towards the wall. I don't know if he lost the nose of that truck, what exactly happened.
Yeah, it looks like he's side by side with Byron McDonald.
Byron McDonald got tight probably there, Sean. I would have to see his hands. And he washed up into Andrew Harris, and then just trying to save the truck, he winds up going around. Matt Johnson almost got by it there, Sean, and at the last second just got clipped there by that 224 truck.
Watch Michael Madden. He barely sneaks through this thing.
Well, look, he's got Kyle Wimble right in front of him. So, I mean, these two, they see the smoke. Woo! And look at Matt Johnson. I mean, Matt Johnson got the worst of it there, man. I mean, he was so close to missing it. So, right now, Sean, we've got these guys on pit road again. It actually looks like Vincent Cortez stayed out. Kind of looking down pit road, I'm trying to see it. It actually looks like Vincent might have been the only driver to stay out right there. So, we saw that strategy earlier with Cole staying out, but now we've got Vincent doing it. So, Sean, the restart's going to be in the hands of someone else, and once again, what do we have coming down to the end for this last third of the race?
You know, and I really think that Vincent just kind of got tired of being behind a couple of people there. So he knows that track position is probably the most important thing in the game right now. And so, yeah, it's a risk because he's out there on super old tires at this point. But it's a risk that he's willing to take. He's the leader in the second-tier playoffs right now. He'd love to close that door, but I think he just kind of got tired of looking at the rear bumper of Cole Martin and Michael York and company.
Sean, here's what's going to be, as I slowly watch it kind of tick down here to the end, you've got 5 championship guys here in the top 10. For the first real time tonight, Cole Martin is going to be restarting on the outside lane. He has had inside lane every restart, whether it be of his own restarts or whether it just be kind of restarting behind someone else. That inside line here at Texas is the absolute preferred line. You're going to have Brandon Domain, looks like he's going to be restarting in 3rd. Michael Madden's going to be in 4th. Kyle Wimble is going to be restarting in 5th here, Sean. So the big thing's going to be is if you're those other championship guys, you're kind of at the mercy right now of those 2 non-playoff guys, Cortez and Domain, because if anything happens with them, it could stack up the field. And we saw a little bit of wheel spin earlier. I don't know if Vincent's going to get the clean restart. What's going to happen? All I know here is we're going to have a restart. We're going to have a Texas shootout with about 25 laps to go.
And that's exactly what we were looking for in this finale of a race. And it is a shootout for these drivers. It doesn't matter how many laps you lead. It just matters if you lead the last one or if you're the first playoff driver to come across the line. Right now, that driver, Cole Martin, on the outside of the front row. But then you got Michael Madden, who was involved in a wreck just a couple of cautions ago. He is up in 4th with what looks to be a nice new truck there. So he's keeping that thing pretty clean after that initial wreck. And then Kyle Wimble will be on the inside of the 3rd row. And so 3 of your playoff drivers in the top 5, and then all the way back to 9th place for the 4th playoff driver. That's Bobby Anderson. And so Bobby kind of doing what he's been doing all year. He's just kind of hanging around. And then he just lets people kind of fade off around him. And that's kind of been his MO this year, where, yeah, of course he's trying to win, but he just hasn't been up there in that front pack. He just waits for people to wreck around him, and it's working right now.
I'll tell you right now, Sean, if I'm looking at this restart, if I'm saying, hey, this thing is going to go green to the end, which we don't know that, but if it were to go green to the end, the driver right now that I think is absolutely in the catbird seat is Michael Madden. And the reason I say that is because he's got Brandon Domain there to his inside. Now, I don't know if Domain is on 2 tires, 4 tires. He's just been kind of quiet all night. Haven't really talked about him. Up front, you got Vincent Cortez, who's on the old tires. You got Cole Martin, who's on the good tires. But Vincent is going to have the preferred line. If he spins the tires, you get to go on the outside as quick as you can with Cole Martin. If he gets a good restart, and you can get a good enough restart to either get behind Brandon Domain or in front of Brandon Domain and make a move on Cole Martin, that could be the move of the race right now. And like I said, I think if anybody is in the catbird seat, it is Michael Madden himself.
You know, the beginning of this season was dominated by Michael Madden. The middle of this season was dominated by Corey Saucier. The end of this regular season was dominated by Cole Martin. So these 3 drivers have been the dominant ones all season long, and we are coming down to 25 laps to go as the pace truck dives off and Vincent Cortez has the restart.
And, Sean, you see a little bit of rear wheel spin there, but Vincent Cortez gets going. It's going to let a decent little breakaway happen behind him. Cole Martin's going to be tucked right behind him here. Michael Madden's going to get in behind Brandon Domain as we have trouble. Looks like Andrew Harris in the back of the field going around. No caution is out.
No, it looks like he's stuck up against the wall, so he will likely have to take a tow. But that will not bring the caution out, and he does. He takes a tow.
Vincent Cortez going to protect this bottom here, Sean. It's going to let Cole Martin get right up to his back bumper, but not be able to have quite the run he needs to make the pass. Vincent going to block him for everything he has, and why wouldn't you, Sean? This is for a win here in a few laps. So Cole's going to have to take a look to the outside. He's going to take a big sweeping arc down here into turn 1. But this is going to let Michael Madden get right back to the back bumper of the 51.
Yeah, I was going to say, while Cole's trying to figure all that stuff out, Michael Madden is just right up on the bumper once again, and Michael's going to follow Cole down into the corner, and he's going to try to get that inside line, and he's not going to get there as Vincent Cortez shuts the door temporarily, but now Madden will get that nose on him.
And now Michael Madden's going to set his sights, Sean, right there on Cole Martin. He's going to head for turn number 1. This is what he's been waiting for all night, to be able to get to a point where he can get to Cole Martin's bumper. Now that Cole's got the clean air, though, I think reserves are off at this cattle auction, buddy. I think it's time for Michael to be going towards that front. And he's going to get right up to the back bumper here. He's going to try to put a move as we head for turn number 1.
Yeah, he kind of skirts out to the outside a little bit, and that outside isn't the place you want to pass, but he gets a little bit of speed. He's going to try to dive to the inside, but Cole Martin's going to barely cut him off there.
And right there, Cole Martin got a break, Sean, because Michael Madden definitely carried a lot of speed there, whether it be that he couldn't carry it straight to his bumper or whether he cut him a little bit of a break. I can tell you right now, here in about 21 laps, heading for that pay window, he won't get that same break if he tries to make that move.
Not a chance. But if you look back a little bit further, now we've got that third driver. That is Corey Saucier, who, again, I said he was dominant in the mid-season where he won 3 races in a row. Now he has moved up into 4th place. And so we might get the top 3 here of the 3 best drivers in Speed Racing Network Truck Series.
Yeah, and the domination, you know, that's kind of the crazy part with it there, Sean, because, you know, here's the thing. It's like you had one driver dominant the first third, another driver dominant the second third, another driver dominant this last third. But here's the question. Are we going to be dealing with thirds, or are we going to have a quarter? And you're going to see some other driver come out of nowhere here to possibly steal this championship. I tell you what, Michael Madden right now, I cannot tell if he has given everything that he's got, but he is right up on the back bumper of Cole Martin. Cole definitely has a rear view full of that 15. Let's go on board with that 15, see what he's looking at as we head for turn number 1.
And I really don't think that he's putting everything into it. I think he's biding his time because I think Madden knows that he does not want to be the one in front with 2 to go.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to be within chrome horn distance as the pay window opens. Just look how little movement he's got on that steering wheel. Look at that run he gets coming down the straightaway. The bad part, though, Sean, he's just got nowhere to go with it. I mean, nowhere to go with it whatsoever, except to the back bumper. And the thing is as he's going to try to take a look to the inside, Cole Martin's going to go around. Michael Madden and Cole Martin both come together. No caution out on the speedway here, Sean.
Yeah, we're still... Oh, now there will be a caution.
And now it's going to be a big one behind him, Sean. Corey Saucier moves up into the lead. Huge wreck behind him. And this has once again, Sean, changed everything.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And they were running so hard, nose to tail, that entire run. And you just knew that something had to give. Something had to happen. And so they got
Sean,
into each other, and then, I mean, they looked like the green was going to stay out there for a while.
It did, Sean. And you know, we were talking about that momentum, man. I mean, we were talking about it. And Michael goes to cut down. And I can't tell if Cole got loose in front of him or if he went to go through a block. I couldn't tell, but Michael Madden definitely was carrying all the speed in the world down into turn number 1, and just carnage ensues from there, buddy. I think if anything, we would need to see the onboard of Michael Madden to see exactly what happened in front of him with Cole Martin, because I can't tell if Cole got loose, if Michael got into him. I'm just not entirely certain.
Well, and I want to say that might have... I can't tell who that was. I thought it might be Kyle Wimble, but I don't believe it is. But yeah, we're going to back up the tape a little bit. We're going to get another view from the cockpit here of Michael Madden, and just right on that bumper.
And he gets down here, Sean. He doesn't touch him. I tell you, Sean, I where it looks like Cole got loose off the corner. Looks like Michael kind of was carrying the momentum and said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be sending it anyway. And when he did, it looks. Let's take a look and see if we can see the hands here.
Well, we're going to jump on to Cole Martin's here.
Yeah, let's take a look into Cole Martin's onboard, because we're going to have to see the hands and see what happens. So he's going to work up off of turn 1.
He was loose. You saw, he got a little bit loose, and that kind of slowed him down, and Michael Madden had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and carnage ensues behind him here, buddy. I mean, you hate to see it at a point of the race like this, but those are the nerves we talk about. When you're Cole Martin and you got that big mirror full of Michael Madden, you make a mistake like that. And the bad part is I hate it for all drivers involved, right? But I especially hate it for Michael Madden, just because it's like, hey, the only mistake he made in that situation was getting the heck of a run down the front straightaway he did to get to Cole Martin's bumper. Whether that be an arrow loose, kind of the air coming off the rear spoiler, or whatever it may have been, that was the only mistake that he made.
Yeah, and I mean, and same thing with Cole Martin. I mean, he made the same mistake that everyone else has made tonight, which is getting loose off of a corner. And once you get loose off the corner, I mean, you're out of control of it. There's nothing else you can do there. And so there was no intention there or anything like that we saw. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, yeah, they wrecked each other. No, I mean, it's one of those racing deals where, one car gets a little bit loose, the other one has nowhere to go, and people are going to see it differently. But the truth of the matter is, it's just hard racing.
Yeah, it's hard racing, Sean. And, we've if you have raced, whether it be real world or iRacing, long enough, you're going to have a moment like that. You're going to have that moment where you're the faster vehicle. You're kind of coming up on someone and they get the heebie-jeebies, and in the process of doing so, they make a mistake. And, you kind of got a choice at that point in time, what's going to happen. Now, for Michael Madden, he had no choice, buddy. I mean, he was fully invested in that inside lane. And that's, like I said, to be able to go and see Cole had gotten loose, it makes me feel a little better there, because I'm like, hey, if that was just a bad time to block, then that was just a huge mistake by the driver leading. But the fact that, we see it was a loose driver situation, and Michael Madden just gets into him. I mean, that's racing, buddy. That's all part of it. But here's the good news for those drivers. The night is not over. For Cole Martin, if anything, puts him still in the thick of things, sitting there in 7th even after that.
Yeah, Corey Saucier was the big winner there, as he is going to take the lead as they got into each other, and then Corey was able to take him on the outside and take that lead before the caution came out. On the outside, you got Brandon Domain. Then you got Vincent Cortez, who's been super aggressive all night, just trying to get to that lead. And then Kyle Wimble, who we thought may have been out of this race after the 10th lap, is all the way back up in 4th position.
Well, Sean, I'm going to tell you right now, this is about to get as interesting as it can. We had 90 laps, man. I mean, we've still got 14 more to go, 13 here in just a few laps. The night is not over, but what we have seen so far, you thought that it was interesting, buddy. You are about to see a lot of, all gas, no brakes whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, with new tires, 14 laps to go. This is a real Texas shootout, as the pace truck, is going to dive off, and Corey Saucier is going to try to finish this season off.
Well, my pick for tonight was Corey Saucier here, Sean, and he is back on that gas pedal. 13 laps to go here in Texas. He's going to break away down for turn number 1, a truck that's been very, very, very good all night. And Vincent Cortez right behind him, Brandon Domain in 3rd. Going to have Bobby Anderson in 4th. Cole Martin already worked his way back up to 5th as Wimble falls back to 7th.
Yeah, and Matt Johnson, a driver that's been involved in a couple of incidents here tonight, he is back there in 9th, and Michael Madden back in 16th is our final playoff driver. And so now he's moved up to 15th, and I have a feeling that Michael Madden is about to drive the 12 laps of his life.
Well, Vincent Cortez right now is driving as hard as he can to try to track down Corey Saucier. Cole Martin is giving everything that he's got. And if you're Corey, once again, we talked about it earlier with Cole when he was on a different tire strategy. you've got to go through and know what's at stake here. Vincent Cortez is going to move to the inside. Now for Corey, you have got to protect for everything that you have. Battling right here, all that you were doing is letting those championship guys get close, as Bobby Anderson is actually going to be looking to make a pass here on Cole Martin. And he completes that one, Sean.
Yeah, Bobby Anderson moves up into 4th position as Corey Saucier starts to move back just a little bit. Brandon Domain is about to get on the tail of Corey Saucier. This is about to get crazy. Oh, no, we got some wrecking.
We've got trouble in the back here. That is James Kerr going around. 11 laps to go, and the caution is out here, Sean. We are going to have a restart with inside of 10 laps to go.
I got to tell you, Dean, I'm loving this new damage model where all the sheet metal is just kind of falling off the trucks. Don't know where that sheet metal's going. It might take us a little while to clean it up.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a part of the new updates because I'm just not good at reading, Sean, so I don't ever read the release notes. I just figure out what's broken when I get into the sim.
Oh, I didn't even read the release notes either, but I just noticed that a lot more sheet metal's fallen off than ever before. And yeah, James Kerr just kind of gets sideways, just loses control of it. It looked like Mike Mosby got a little bit of that action as he was trying to avoid that wreck, but only those 2 trucks involved in that wreck.
Well, Sean, we get a few less laps to run here under green, and I'm telling you, if you're Corey Saucier right now, I think that is playing into your hand perfectly. The less laps that you have to go green, the better. The one thing that's benefiting Corey Saucier right now as much as anything is the fact that Cole Martin is going to be restarting right behind him. And that high line, you cannot go 3 wide here through turns 1 and 2. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to be able to make it work.
Well, I said that Michael Madden would have to drive the 12 laps of his life. He started off that last restart in 16th. He's moved all the way up into 11th already, right behind Matt Johnson. And so he is trying to get past at least one playoff driver to get a little bit of cash, but I have a feeling he doesn't want it to stop there.
No, he definitely doesn't, Sean, and nobody ever wants to be the guy who's 1 spot out of the cash. Nobody ever wants to be the guy who is 1 spot off the pay window. Nobody ever wants to be the 2nd place guy. Somebody's going to have to be it, though. And right now, I'm telling you, I don't know about how many laps we're going to restart with. I'd say we'll probably restart with about 5 or 6 laps to go when we hit the line to come to the green. But it's not over. It's not over, Sean. Look at these guys right here in the championship. You got Corey Saucier sitting there in 2nd. Cole Martin tried to come back after that spin just a few moments ago. You got Bobby Anderson, the man who played the great strategy to get in by 1 point into the playoffs. Then you got Kyle Wimble there, who has fought his way back from multiple laps down here tonight to be up there in 6th. Matt Johnson back in 10th. And Michael Madden there in 11th. I mean, Sean, every one of these guys has had a big moment tonight, not just this season, but a big moment tonight, and we're all about to settle it here. I mean, we are about to crown a Truck Series champion.
This is going to be the best 8 laps we've seen all season, regardless of what happens, just because of everything that is on the line here tonight. It is going to be absolutely insane, and look at who the leader is. The leader is not even one of the playoff drivers.
No, that's what's hilarious right now. That's what's got me chuckling as much as anything, because, over the last few years in NASCAR between the top 3 series, just about every time your champion has been the winner of the final race. It's a trend that kind of kicked off a few years ago when Tony Stewart tied Carl Edwards after winning the championship race. They tied in points, but Tony won the tiebreaker. And right now, Sean, here's the best part. There's no tiebreaker tonight, buddy. There's no points. It's all about just be the guy to finish in front of the other guy.
Yeah, right now Corey Saucier has that. He's got Brandon Domain. That should be kind of in between him and Cole Martin, Bobby Anderson, Kyle Wimble. But then it's not too far back until you get back to Matt Johnson and Michael Madden. I'm telling you, all 6 of these guys will likely finish in the top 10. It's just a matter of where.
And even then, I can't even say, hey, the top 10, because we just saw, like I said, you saw the dominant truck tonight get loose off the corner. Who's to say it doesn't happen to someone else? I mean, Sean, I'm pumped right now, buddy. I mean, I have had so much fun up in this booth off and on this season, but I can't believe the energy that's right here, right now. And it's going to be 6 laps to go as we see the lights go out on the pace truck. So we will have a 6-lap shootout to determine it.
Who thought that it would come down to this? When we started this series 20 weeks ago, who would have thought that it would come down to 6 laps to go for all the marbles?
Well, that is the fun part about playoff racing. I'll be honest with you, Sean. As a driver, playoff racing absolutely drives me bonkers. I despise it. As a fan who has nothing riding on this race right now, man, this is exciting. You guys knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, and I mean, it was one of those things where we didn't think that we would see this, but we're glad we did.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what we expected at the start of the year, 20 weeks ago, but man, we're going to get ready to go at it here. 6 laps. A champion is going to be crowned here, Sean, in roughly about 4 minutes if this thing stays green.
Well, man, I know a lot of the guys out in the YouTube chat are thinking that we're not done with cautions yet. I'm not sure we are either. But there's only one way to find out. As Vincent Cortez gets the restart, he takes off with the green flag. Corey Saucier dives down, gets that second position. But look up on the top side. Cole Martin going to try to get around Brandon Domain.
Heck of a move there by Corey Saucier to get to the bottom. That's going to trap Cole Martin up on the high side. He's going to have to fall in behind Brandon Domain. Right now, he's got 2 trucks he's got to worry about, and that is that 20 truck and the 3 truck. Right now, he's got to settle in, take a look out of his windshield, as it looks like Brandon Domain looked like he was going to try to make a move on Corey Saucier, but just kind of let him go. Corey has a little bit of a buffer right now, but the second here Cole Martin comes off of turn 4, he is to the inside of Brandon Domain. 5 laps to go here in this Truck Series season, Sean, as he begins to put his sights forward for Corey Saucier.
You can see he's on his way. Look who else is on their way back a little bit further. Matt Johnson up in 9th. You got Michael Madden right in front of him, and now they're side by side. They're going back and forth on this.
Down the back straightaway, Sean. I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy. 4 wide down the back straightaway. But up here front, it looks like that the 3 truck, he's going to get right back to the back bumper of Vincent Cortez. Cole Martin's going to be right back to his bumper. We're going to head for turn number 1 here. 4 laps to go. Cole's going to have to set that 3 truck up here, Sean. It's going to be a tough run to make. Looks like the 3 gets a little loose. He's going to get to his outside. Back to the inside. Cole's going to dive it deep in here for turn number 3.
Yeah, Corey Saucier got way loose there, and Cole Martin was patient enough to wait for the move to go down to the inside, and he will take that second position away. But forget second position on the track. That is the first position in the championship.
That is the one that's most important right now here, Sean. Corey Saucier not going to give up, though. He's going to try to set his sights back for Cole Martin. Cole doesn't care about not leading the race right now. He only cares about leading this championship. But he's going to set his sights back for Vincent Cortez. But you've got to be careful. If you get back to that 69 truck, you cannot put yourself at risk here. As you begin to see Corey kind of fall back a little bit, those fresher tires that Cole had starting to take effect.
Well, as we go back a little bit further, Michael Madden just made the pass to get into 6th, so he's on his way up. Matt Johnson, Kyle Wimble are the last 2 of the playoff drivers out there, so they're going to be fighting for that last playoff payout spot. But Bobby Anderson is next on Michael Madden's list. This is about to get crazy once again.
Well, we're heading for the white flag here, Sean. Cole Martin's going to be right on the back bumper here of Vincent Cortez. I'm telling you what, I don't think he is just content with this championship. He wants this one more spot, but it's going to hold him up just a little bit here. 5 trucks under a blanket, white flag out here at Texas. Vincent Cortez with the lead. Going to have Corey Saucier coming up to the back bumper of Cole Martin. Sean, they're going to head down here for turn number 3 for the final time down this backstretch. Bobbing, weaving, trucks everywhere. Corey Saucier going to send it in as hard as he can for turn number 3. And he's going to come off turn 4. He's going to get to the bumper of Cole Martin to the high side. Block. Cole Martin is going to be your champion. Vincent Cortez wins at Texas.
Vincent Cortez with the win of the race. Cole Martin with the win of the championship. Corey Saucier did everything he could. Bobby Anderson was spinning across the line. Michael Madden will finish 4th in the championship, Matt Johnson 5th, and Kyle Wimble 6th.
Oh my goodness, Sean, the championship, 20 weeks of racing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of laps, and your championship is decided by 0.08 of a second. Cole Martin over Corey Saucier. Sean, we have a ton to unpack here in our post-race show, but that was exactly what we were looking for here at the start of this season.
And just like we were talking about, all 6 of our playoff drivers ended up in the top 10, but Cole Martin reigns supreme on this season. 7 wins on the season and 1 second-place finish for the title.
Sean, I'm telling you, we have got to go back and watch that last 2 laps here between Cole Martin, Vincent Cortez, and Corey Saucier. Cole got up to Vincent's back bumper, and he was trying to make a move. He wanted to take this lead for the win, put another truck behind him. But down the front straightaway, Vincent, wanting this win, even though Cole was a little faster, he kind of puts a little bit of a block on Cole. Cole has nowhere to go. He knows he can't go for the high side, and that's going to let Corey Saucier get right up to the back bumper of Cole Martin. And when they come off of turn number 2 here, they start to bob and weave and try to break draft. Cole begins to pull him a little bit, but then he gets back to that back bumper again. Look at this, Sean. And this just lets Corey just diamond this corner off. And he gets such a good run. He almost gets he gets just almost too good of a run. And he gets to Cole Martin's back bumper. And I tell you what, Sean, if Corey Saucier wanted to, with that type of a run, he could have moved Cole Martin. But I tell you what, he didn't. He didn't want to win it that way. He goes through, kind of cuts him. He tries to get to his outside. I know Corey Saucier has to be gutted, especially after seeing that truck grow that big in your windshield, only to come home second in the championship. But, man, what a finish here tonight. Congratulations to your winner, Vincent Cortez, and your 2021 winter to summer champion, Cole Martin, for the Truck Series.
Well, tell you what we're going to do, I know normally we interview the top 3, and basically we're going to do that. But first, let's interview Vincent Cortez. Let's get his feelings on this race, and then we'll talk to the drivers, the top 3 of the playoffs as well. So let me see if I can't find Vincent Cortez and get him up into the booth here with us. Hey, Vincent Cortez, Sean and Dean up in the booth, buddy. Great win tonight, man.
Thank you.
Vincent, we saw just a heck of a race here this evening. As we come down to the end, of this, we had to watch back the final 2 laps because it looked like Cole was coming in a quick hurry. We were kind of looking, saying, "Hey, he's got his championship locked up." But man, he wanted that other win. And what did you see in your rearview mirror, just trying to take that checkered flag tonight?
I saw a big old Chevy logo coming real fast.
Well, Vincent, we saw when Cole got to you, it looks like, he got a little bit better of a run. You kind of put a block on him coming to the white flag down the front straightaway. And in the process, it let Corey Saucier get back up to him there. At which point did you know that Cole was going to have to fight Corey as opposed to worrying about racing you for that win?
On the restart, I saw that he was lining up 4th, so I know that they were going to be battling the most out of everybody. So I locked up the bottom, and I didn't really worry about what was happening behind me. I was scared about getting that win.
Well, buddy, you got it done here this evening. Normally we don't interview the winner first. We've got a lot to unpack here, like we said in our post-race show. But, Vincent, tonight you are the winner for the season finale here at Texas. Who do you have to thank?
Oh, man, everybody, man. Red Bull, Hooters, Tank Racing, man, they've helped me out a lot. Literally, like, everybody, man. Walt started the whole thing. Just you guys, man. Thank you for putting on that Tier 2 championship. I'm the best of the worst, so it's pretty cool to say.
Well, and that was another thing I was going to say is you are the official winner of the Tier 2 championship as well. So brought to you by Flavor Bomb Seasonings. Go to fbbbq.com and get those seasonings. But, man, how do you feel about even if you didn't make the playoffs, still made a little bit of money there?
Yeah, it's a real good feeling. Thank you to Flavor Bomb for helping set that up.
Well, buddy, congratulations on the win here this evening. I know just like myself, you'd have much rather it had been that win if you were in that Tier 1 playoffs. It would have meant a lot more. But, buddy, a win is a win. Congratulations. We're going to get you back down to your team.
Thank you.
All right, Dean, as we get him back down to his team, let's get Bobby Anderson in here. And, you know, we said at the beginning of the show that if there was one person that nobody expected to be here, it was Bobby Anderson. And he brings home a 5th place finish here tonight. He actually matches his best finish of the season. Bobby, 5th place finish, but 3rd in the playoffs. Buddy, how's it going, man?
Oh, going good, brother. Going good.
Bobby, you know, me and Sean were talking about it at the top of the show. You know, we saw the amazing move earlier this season, you know, as the championship was getting ready to start, as the playoffs were, for you to go through, lead a lap, and that one lap led made the difference of you getting here into the playoffs. So, Bobby, you know, you're going to come home 3rd in our championship season here this year. You know, throughout this entire 20-week season, as you got down here towards these last couple laps, were you staring in front of you saying, man, I wonder if these two are going to wreck? Did you think that you were about to walk into a championship? Or more than anything, what was going through your mind?
Well, when we come around that first turn 1 and 2 into the final lap, I thought we were going to have a little wreck it there. But hopefully they kept it together and we were able to race all the way to the end. But I'm going to tell you right now, that caution, I had to probably have a new change of shorts for that one.
Well,
well
man,
buddy.
It's been fantastic all season long. And, you know, we touched on it on the pre-show that your best finish of the season was 5th place, and here you are matching that here tonight with a 5th place finish. But what does it mean to you to not even have a podium finish all year long, but still have this opportunity to win this type of money?
All I can say is Team Sadie. All year long, been fighting for this little girl. Been racing all year, every week, come into this, qualify good, and I'm doing it with this little girl. And it makes me happy that I know I went out here and did my job as a driver and got us home in the top 3 and got R&D in 2 and 3. That's all you can ask for.
Well, and for those viewers out there that don't know what he's talking about with Team Sadie, earlier in the season, we had a charity race for Team Sadie, and Sadie's a little girl with leukemia that we were raising money for there, and Bobby Anderson has been driving for her all season long with her name on his truck all season long. So huge to see that name out there and to do so well here tonight.
Thank you.
Well, buddy, we're gonna let you get back to your team here just shortly. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank Flavor Bomb, of course, Team Sadie, the little girl. Thank her for fight she's going through. It helps me fight every day. Helps me fight on the racetrack. R&D Motorsports, Duke for giving me a chance. My teammates Saucier, Mosby, just the whole group at Team SRN and R&D.
Man, great race again here tonight. Congratulations on the 3rd place finish in the playoffs. Man, hopefully we'll see you next year, and we can see if you can improve on that even more.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Have a great night.
You too.
Well, Sean, there's your 3rd place championship finisher, buddy. And I know this is probably going to be the interview of heartbreak, but at the same time, there's probably a lot of energy going on. Let's try and see if we can't get our 2nd place championship finisher, Corey Saucier, up here in the Speed Racing Network booth. This is Sean Griffith and Dean Brummett. Corey, I know it's not exactly where you wanted to finish, buddy. Congrats on a great season, a 2nd place points finish. How you doing this evening?
All in all, I really can't be that disappointed. I got to tip my cap to Cole. He's a hell of a driver. I got to his bumper there on that last lap. I gave him a little bit of a nudge. I wanted to just push him out of the way, hopefully to get him loose, get him out of the way so that we could maybe take it home. But, you know, at the same time, I'd rather race somebody clean and get that win on my own. So, but hats off to him. He was definitely the best driver in this series all year long.
Well, Corey, I'm telling you, buddy, you were my pick at the top of the show. I told Sean I was going to throw a Hail Mary tonight, and I was picking you to win. And as we were coming there to 2 to go, I saw Cole trying to get to the back bumper of Vincent Cortez. Looked like he wanted that win, and it looked like he got slowed up a little bit. You come off of turn 2 on the white flag lap with a big run. You know, we see you go through, you take this big wide arc to carry all the momentum that you can into turn 3 and 4. Did you expect Cole to get to your front bumper that quick, or did you expect maybe to have a run to the, you know, side by side to the finish? And as you were getting to his bumper, what was the thought there? Was it, hey, you know, he's been around one time tonight, what's another? Or was it, hey, back off this man's bumper? What was going through your head there?
Well, so I figured coming in, I figured, you know, let me just see how those two play it out, and if I get a really big run, you know, if I feel like I'm coming up on the bumper too fast where I'd wipe us all out, I'd rather try to take it high and just get around him. But I sort of think they gained a little bit more momentum, so I didn't close as fast as I initially was. So by the time I was in the middle of the turn, I figured, well, I'm just going to stay on the bumper, maybe tap them a little bit, see what happens. But it just wasn't enough to move them out of the way.
Oh man, I mean, all season long we've seen your name up towards the top, and you've just done everybody that knows you proud, and congratulations once again on second place in the playoffs. But is there anybody you'd like to thank here tonight in this last race?
Yeah, I got to first and foremost, I got to thank my teammates, Bobby Anderson, Jason Kratky, and Mike Mosby, and obviously our manager and owner, David Duke. You know, without those guys pushing us each week, I probably wouldn't be here. You know, we put a ton of time into practice, and we help each other out a lot, and I definitely learned something from everybody, and I'm sure that's the same thing. So I'm first and foremost got to thank Guiding Flavor Bomb for sponsoring me all year, and hopefully we can make a run at this in season 2 and take first place instead.
All right, man. Well, we will definitely see you here next season. We'll have some off-season stuff as well, but congratulations once again, and we'll get you back down to your team. But celebrate tonight and come back strong next season.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for everything you did this year. Broadcast is awesome as always. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care.
Well, Sean, I tell you what here, buddy. We've gone through, we've talked to some drivers who've accomplished some amazing things this evening. I want to bring up 2 drivers on this one. I want to bring up the championship team owner in Jake Rowell, but not before we bring up Corey Saucier, your 2000.
Cole Martin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, I was trying to make my pick.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. I'm trying. Cole Martin, our 2021. I don't even know what we're going to call the championship here, but the 2021 spring to summer champion, Cole Martin. This is Dean Brummett and Sean Griffith up in the Speed Racing Network booth. Congratulations, young man.
Thanks, man. I can't believe it, dude. I never thought I'd win the championship.
Well, Cole, I tell you, buddy, we watched you go through and perform so well all season. As it was getting down towards the end of the race here, you know, we saw the big race between you and Michael Madden. And then once the contact had happened between you guys off of turn 2, we kind of sat back and said, man, what is going to happen with this? And the race stayed green enough for you to go through, make your way up to second. Even though it wasn't the win, I saw good and well you were trying to take that 8th win of the season there by getting past Vincent Cortez. But, man, when you got up behind him and had to get out of the gas a little bit and it let Corey Saucier get up to you, what was going through your mind there that final lap or so?
Yeah, it was a very hectic. First off, if it wasn't for Michael York pushing me down pit road, none of this would have happened. I mean, he basically saved the whole thing when I blew up and he pushed me down pit road. Couldn't thank him enough. He did a lot for me tonight, and I mean, when he got to my bumper, Saucier's a really clean dude. I thank him for not spinning me out. He gave me the bump, but man, I can't believe it.
Well, man, well, you've got a ton of guys out here in the chat right now saying congratulations to you, as well as in the Discord channel also. So, man, just an incredible season for you. 7 wins on the season out of 20 races, and then one all-important second place finish here tonight, winning $300. What you gonna do with the money?
Buy more diecast, man.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna do.
There it is.
Well, Cole, while we got you here, we're going to bring up tonight's championship winning spotter and your championship owner here for these last few weeks. Jake Rowell, this is Dean Brummett and Sean Griffith in the Speed Racing Network booth here with your championship winning driver, Cole Martin. Congratulations, guys.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was a heck of a race. Cole Martin, I mean, he drove the wheels off that thing tonight, and after getting taken out with only about 13 laps to go, drove his way up to win the championship. That's the kind of driver we have over at Rowell Smith Racing, like Dean firsthand. So couldn't be more happier for Cole getting it done tonight.
Well, Jake, we talked to Cole there about what he saw at the end. You being up in the spotter stand, as you see that 2 laps to go come out, we see Cole get to the back bumper of Vincent Cortez, get woed up a little bit, and Corey Saucier make a charge at it. What were you screaming in your driver's ear heading through 3 and 4 as he sees that 3 growing ever larger in his rear view?
Yeah, so coming to the white, I knew Cole wanted to get the win at Texas, but you didn't want to force it. Lose the momentum down the back and let Corey have a chance to make it 3 wide. I've spotted too much. I've raced too much to let Cole make a mistake like that. So, I had to tell him, hey, look, it ain't about the win at Texas. It's about getting the championship. So, off of 2, he tried to make a move to the inside, and I was hollering to him to just back it down, get your entry into 3, and not hit the apron in 3 and 4 and shoot you up the track, which – Cole doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Almost made one there. He clipped it a little bit, which let Saucier get to the rear bumper. But Corey's class act on and off the track. So, I totally fine. Like Corey said in his interview, I gave him a little bit of a bump, but wasn't going to be any more of that. So hats off to Corey Saucier. He had a heck of a season. But, yeah, I mean, out of 4, it was just get yourself to that finish line, and that's what you saw in the 51 truck tonight.
Well, Jake and Cole, congrats again, guys. Awesome season. We want to give a shout-out to all of our competitors that we had this season in our truck series. And, Sean, we'll go ahead and get these guys back down here as you and I kind of go through our final details. Once again, Cole, Jake, congratulations again, guys.
Appreciate it. Man. We got a couple chances Thursday night, tomorrow night, and obviously Sunday night, so we're trying to get the brooms out, get the sweep for all 3 series. So we'll see if we can't get it done. Cole obviously leads that off here tonight. So as always, all season long to you, both Sean and Dean, you guys do a heck of a job in the broadcast booth, and couldn't be happier to be a part of Speed Racing Network.
Thanks,
well,
guys.
Jake, we definitely appreciate it. Congrats again, guys. Well, Sean, what a season and what a finish that we had here this evening, buddy. Was it everything that you hoped it was going to be?
Man, it was everything and more. And you can see the playoff standings, the final standings here on the screen. Cole Martin winning $300, Corey Saucier winning $150, Bobby Anderson winning $100, Michael Madden winning $75, Matt Johnson winning $50. Now, keep in mind, it costs everybody $100 basically to race the entire season. So those top 3 had their seasons paid for, and then some with all the other winnings that they had this season. Michael Madden had plenty of winnings this season to make him over that cap as well. So, I mean, we're paying out these drivers, and tomorrow night is going to be no different as we head right back here to Texas, but we're coming here with the Xfinity Series as they have their 5 playoff drivers all fighting for some money.
And Sean, here's the big thing. While the focus is going to be on those 5 drivers tomorrow night, if you're one of those 5 drivers that, or the 6 drivers here at the top of the board this season, you got some decisions to make. Are you going to come back next season and run trucks? Or are you going to possibly take a jump up here to the Xfinity Series? And same thing for those Xfinity Series guys. Some of these guys may be very well racing for their chance to go race in the big leagues of our Cup Series Sunday night. So, Sean, tomorrow night we're going to see 5 guys go and give it their absolute all. So tune in for Speed Racing Network tomorrow night, Thursday, June the 10th at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Definitely. And if you don't join us tomorrow night, definitely come back and join us next season. But for everybody here at Speed Racing Network, all of our incredible sponsors, our incredible drivers, for Dean Brummett, all of our broadcasters, everybody that makes this entire thing possible, including you, the fans, we certainly appreciate all of you. And we remind you, as always, to go faster.